Welcome to Ask Grandma Carol. Today I have a question from Nora. Nora wants to know if I can show you how to make pizza at home. Nora, I am delighted to show you how to make pizza. When my children were about your age, I had birthday parties for them where each child could decorate their own pizza with their favorite toppings. I'll show you how. But before we get started, let me tell you a little bit about how pizza came into existence. The history of pizza dates back to ancient times when people baked flatbreads and added toppings to make them taste better. People baked flatbreads with cheese, onions, and garlic in ancient Greece. There are countless examples of similar foods from all around the world. Pizza made in Italy 500 years ago was considered a dish for poor people, but it soon became a tourist attraction. Italian immigrants brought pizza to the United States over 100 years ago, but it wasn't until after World War II that pizza became popular in the United States when soldiers returned home with a yen for, that's right, pizza. Something that continues to have tremendous popularity today. So let's get started. Making basic pizza dough is quick and easy. All we need is flour, water, yeast, and salt. This recipe makes 1 pound of pizza dough. That's enough for 1 large pizza or 2 smaller ones. I'm using a pizza stone, so I've removed one of the racks from the oven. If you are using a baking sheet or cast iron skillet, this isn't necessary. We'll add 1 teaspoon of yeast to 3/4 cup of warm water. The water should be about 100 degrees Fahrenheit. If our water is too hot, it can kill the yeast, which would mean we'd have to start over from scratch. I'll give the yeast a short stir and leave the water mixture alone while I put 2 cups of flour and 1/2 teaspoon of salt in a mixing bowl. I mix the salt in with the flour because I don't want the yeast to come in direct contact with it. Salt can kill yeast. Now let's check back on our water and yeast mixture to make sure we can see a few bubbles. There are some bubbles. That tells us the yeast is good and we are set to move forward. Let's add the water and yeast mixture to the bowl of flour and mix with a hand or stand mixer or by hand. Once our dough is mixed, we could use it right away, but it will be oh so much better if we allow it to proof. I'll cover the bowl with plastic and put it in the oven with the oven light turned on. The light will provide additional warmth to speed the proofing process. We'll leave the dough in the oven for a couple of hours. While the dough is proofing, we can make our sauce. You can buy pizza sauce at the grocery store, but you have more control over the taste when you make your own. So we'll make ours from scratch today. In a medium-sized pot, we'll add 1 6-ounce can of tomato paste and 1 14.5-ounce can of diced tomatoes. I've pre-measured all the spices we'll use, including 2 tablespoons oregano, 1/2 teaspoon garlic powder, 1/2 teaspoon onion powder, 2 teaspoons basil, 2 teaspoons thyme, 1 teaspoon sage, 1/2 teaspoon rosemary, 1/4 teaspoon black pepper, and 1 teaspoon salt. Let's add those. We'll let the sauce simmer until it has cooked down and is ready to spread. About half an hour before baking the pizza, we'll preheat the oven to 450 degrees Fahrenheit. The dough has proofed. It's time to beat it down and roll it out. Dust the surface you're going to roll the dough on with flour so the dough won't stick to it. You may also want to dust your rolling pin. How thin you roll the crust is determined by how thick you want the crust of your pizza. If you have a pizza peel, dust it with cornmeal and place your rolled out dough on the peel. It makes it easy to move the uncooked pizza onto the pizza stone. If you're using a baking tray or cast iron skillet, you'll want to dust them with cornmeal before putting rolled out dough on them. Now comes the fun part. It's time to decorate. The first topping pizza makers generally spoon out is pizza sauce. I spread it around with a spoon, staying away from the edges, which we want to get delectably crunchy. Next, we'll sprinkle on the mozzarella cheese. I'm using a 4-cheese blend today. From there, the sky is the limit. Some popular toppings are pepperoni, mushrooms, sausage, onion, black olives, green pepper, jalapeno peppers, sun-dried tomatoes, pineapple, and bacon. But there are many others you may want on your pizza. It's a time for the pizza to go into the oven. Use a pizza peel to slide the pizza onto a pizza stone, or simply place the pizza made on a baking tray or cast iron skillet on a rack. We'll bake our pizza for 8 to 12 minutes, or until the crust is lightly browned. Then we'll remove it from the oven. We'll want to slice the pizza immediately with a pizza cutter. You can also use a large chef's knife. Time for the taste test. This definitely hits the spot. I'll post the pizza recipe on the recipe page at askgrandmacarol.com. Try it at home and enjoy. Do you have a question for Grandma Carol? Email me at askgrandmacarol@yahoo.com. Yours just might be one of the questions answered on the show. And don't forget to give this episode a thumbs up and subscribe to be notified when new episodes come out.